Good afternoon, everyone. I am back and I am making a video. I'm Sam McDonough, IFBB Bikini Pro, and today we are going to talk about the Tampa Pro results. Marie Eve won. I'm so excited. I am obsessed with Marie. I am so thrilled for her. Yeah, okay, so I'm freaking out because I'm very excited because I really was hoping that she would get her Olympic qualification, and to get it at Tampa is a huge deal because Tampa historically is a major deal, like I talked about in my last video. But first, I don't have my little notebook with me, but I have a life update. My jumpsuit came. So here's my jumpsuit. I took screenshots of the video and I took the background away so you couldn't see where I live because this was taken outside, but it came and it's so cute. And I can't my goal is to grow my glutes, but I can't grow them anymore until this wedding because I was having trouble getting into the jumpsuit. So that's my life update. Let's talk about the results. So like I said, okay, who did I think was gonna place where? Okay, so I said that it could go anyway, and I've been saying I want Marie to win, so I'm thrilled that that happened. But my official predictions were Kate, Taylor. Okay, so here's the score. Kate, Taylor, Marie, Nade, Romina, Jessica Dolius, and then Jody. So how many did I get right? Okay, so I got Romina's placing right. So of the top 6, I got 5. So it ended up being Marie in first, Taylor in second, Nade in third, Kate in fourth. And when I saw the photos, I posted like in my little post area, like my community tab on YouTube, that I thought that it was gonna be Marie, Taylor, Kate, and then Nade, but that and then someone else commented and she said that she thought it was gonna be Nade and then Kate, and then I was like, okay, yeah, what makes you think that? It looks like it's pretty tight between the two, so it could go either way, and it was true. It was a 1-point difference between those two. So yeah, I think Marie definitely won this show. So let's look at the comparisons. Okay, so the comparisons were kind of grainy, but let's get into it. So I close my eyes and I open them and I pretend I'm a judge and I'm looking for anything negative that stands out. Okay, so I open my eyes and okay, so this is our first call out. So we have Marie, Taylor, Nade, Kate, Romina in 5th, Jody in 6th, Kylie Solomon, who I talked about earlier this year before she was going to do her pro debut. So let's do an honorable mention for Kylie Solomon because I'm a big fan. Or her name is Kylie Tippett now. It's Solomon now. Okay, Tippett was her maiden name. She got married after she turned pro. But yeah, this was Kylie. I think she has really beautiful shape and pop to her muscles. She just needs some more glue, and then I think she'll be ultra balanced. But yeah, I love her look. I was so happy to see her placing this high. That's the highest she's placed in her pro season, her first pro season. So I'm just thrilled for her. They didn't have a fully posed back pose, but we'll look at it in the comparison. She just needs a little more upper outer glute, but it looks like she has like really full, beautiful muscle belly. So I'm excited for her. Okay, so let's look at this. So when I see this front pose, I thought Marie won because she doesn't have as many lines as Taylor. So this photo is kind of grainy. But Taylor just looks a little over the line in her conditioning compared to the median of this show. So like in this top 5, Taylor is probably the hardest one. But everyone is really close in their conditioning. Like these top 4 are very close to their conditioning. Taylor is just a little tighter than everyone else. Like you see more definition specifically in this quad area. You see the same shape here in Marie, but you don't see as many lines in the legs. So I thought Marie's conditioning looked completely spot on, and then it matched top to bottom. And Taylor's conditioning matches top to bottom, but I think it was just a little harder than would win her a show. This show specifically. And I thought that when we turned them to the back, that's when I thought Nade took the 3rd place position, because in the top 4, I think Kate is a little too opened up, so she could angle her hips away a little bit to get better hourglass shape, but she still has a lot of hourglass shape. And then Nade, I think, could open up her hips little, so she looks very profile here. The front pose is just as usual with Nade. It just if she can bring her front pose looking like natural and comfortable, then I think she'd be placing higher than third. She's already qualified for the Olympia. She qualified in November of last year at the Kansas City Pro my hometown. So yeah, once she can get this front pose figured out, I don't really know what the deal is, but once she can get it figured out, and she's already placing really high without it and already qualified for the Olympia without it, but the front pose changes every show because she's working on it. But it just is, she's too profile on the hips. She has an incredible physique. It's incredible. It's one of the best physiques like in the league, in my opinion. If she could just present her front better, because she has, like, when she posts her update photos, it looks like her pose is better. Like, okay, let's look at new window, I guess. When she posts her update photos, this looks better. Like, she's more open up in the hips. I see more of the front of her suit bottoms, which is what I'm missing in her stage photos, but she like closes up too much in the hips, so she looks very up and down, straight up and down in the lower body, but has a lot of shape in her upper body. But then the shape looks way extreme compared to the lower because of how closed off she is. But her back pose always is spot on, and you see she's working on her front pose, she's switching sides. The back pose is always exactly where it should be. Even this is a little bit better. It's still too profile, and it looks like her glutes are tucked, which makes her upper body look like it's tilted back. But yeah, when she can figure out this front pose, I think she's winning shows a lot more often. But yeah, so that's something I would like to see. So let me go back to this photo and then we'll look at people's individual routines and stuff. But yeah, Nadé looks crazy, and her conditioning does match from top to bottom and front to back. It's just the pose that is off. Like, I am obsessed with Nadé's physique. I just want to know, like, what it will take to get the front pose to showcase what it is she actually has, because she has, like, a 1 in a million physique. I love it. So, okay. So Marie, I thought, brought the best hourglass shape, the best fullness, and balance between top and bottom. Her hair, makeup, and suit are always spot on. Like, I never have any issues with her presentation. Yeah, she looks stunning. And Taylor looks incredible too. She's definitely put on size since her last show, which she won, which was the Atlantic Coast Pro. So here she was at the Atlantic Coast. And you can tell now, I'll just pull up a comparison now, she's definitely put on a significant amount of size, but maintained her balance throughout. This angle, or this like angle, is a little unfortunate because it looks like she has peach fuzz on her butt, but that's just the background. But yeah, she's definitely put on a really good amount of size. She added a little bend to this knee, so you eliminate some of this negative space in between the legs that she has going on here. So yeah, she looks great, and I think she will fare very well at the Olympia. But yeah, I mean, there's no but. She just was a little tighter than Maria at the show, and that's just not really how the show went for her. So, meaning she was the hardest one of the top 4, and that, so you want to be like, you know, the average of everyone basically. So yeah, I think this is a really great look. I'm excited to see how she does at the Olympia. I'm not sure how she will do. I'm excited for, like, when the list is completely finalized, we'll go over some predictions for that. But yeah, kudos to Taylor because she did an incredible job. And let's just look at her back pose in this photo too. From the show. So yeah, her back pose, she's also put on a significant amount of size, like her glutes. We'll talk about some posing things, but yeah, I mean, she just looks really great, has a very natural hourglass shape. And I'm very excited for her. So yeah, I think it was a really good show. But I think Marie, like, pretty clear that Marie won to me based on only pictures. I didn't watch the stream. So yeah, that's my take there. And then I already kind of talked about my thoughts on Nadé, and Kate, I think, looked really, really good. I think she could close off in the hips a little bit more. Let's see if she's done that in the past. She was just a little too straight on. She still has really nice hourglass shape, even with how opened up she was. And she qualified last weekend. So yeah, I think this angle is better. But she was probably told by the judges to do something different, and that's what she did. Also, it could have just been the angle of that photo, because it looks like she is pretty similarly open in this photo compared to when she won Chicago last weekend or 2 weekends ago or something like that. So yeah, she looks a little more opened up here, but it could also just be the angle of the camera. So yeah. Kate looks really, really, really good. So let's pull up this comparison again. So yeah, just a little more opened up. And it's probably because she's angling at the head judge. So she actually probably is not more opened up, but the head judge is like right here. So she's angling at them. So I think that's what's going on. And Nade, she should be maybe angling a little bit at the judge too, because she probably looked even more closed off in this front pose if the judge is right here, which they are. Okay. And then Romina looked, I think this is the best Romina has looked all season. She's placed fifth at this season before, but I think this was like the most even that her conditioning has been. So we'll get into her physique too, but yeah, I think she definitely, if her goal was to make her late husband proud, she totally did. So I hope that she feels really good after this show, because yeah, she just did great, and I don't know how she was able to prep after her husband passed away a few months ago. So congratulations to Romina. And then Jody, I think just a mismatch in conditioning from Toto. She looks pretty tight in the lower body. So yeah, if she could just bring the fullness and then not pose this arm so hard like I've talked about before, then yeah, but I won't go into that again. I've talked about it a couple times already. Okay, and then the back pose, this is a good representation of Kylie in her back pose. She just like really pops. The muscle bellies and the glutes and the hamstrings totally match, and top to bottom, like the fullness totally matches. She seems a little more upper outer glute, but I was really excited to see her do so well at the show. So looking at the top 5 here, Romina looks like she's not fully posed because she usually arches a little bit more. But as far as the back poses, like the person who stands out to me the most as having the most impressive back pose is Nade. Nade has a very impressive back pose. Her conditioning is super tight, but still really poppy. I think that she and Taylor are the tightest ones in this back pose. And I think Kate and Marie are the most similar in their conditioning in the back pose. And the reason I have Marie winning this back pose is because she looks really, really full. You don't see the glutes completely etch into the hamstrings here. It looks like just that soft connection between the glute and the hamstring, which is beautiful and what they want in bikini. Her hamstrings could be a little bit more developed. I still think that, but I mean, definitely good enough to win this show, and I really hope she makes it into the top 15 at the Olympia this year. They only scored a 15. And then I think with Taylor, it looks like she has a lot of flare in her quads happening, and it looks like her hamstrings need to come up to match her glutes. She's definitely grown her glutes, but they are now kind of overpowering her hamstrings a little bit just based on these photos. So I would like to see her bring her hamstrings up just a little bit and straighten the arms so they aren't pointing out like this. I would like to see the same thing on Marie too, just like straighten the arms a little bit, but she has great like balance in the fullness in her shoulders and lower body. I think she's just very balanced all around, and that's what won her the show, because balance is pretty much the biggest criteria in bikini. And yeah, I think Taylor was just a little over line with the conditioning. I think Kate looked really good, and again is the most comparable to Marie in terms of fullness. But I don't know what it is. Maybe she just got a little outsized at this show because she's not the most muscular Olympian that we have, but she's very balanced, and balance wins shows a lot of the time. Nade, I wouldn't change anything about the back pose. Maybe she could bring her hands in slightly so I don't see her bracelets, but that's really it. Nade looks absolutely show-stopping. She has an incredible physique. Is she maybe a little too tight compared to the other people? Yeah, maybe. Maybe she's a little bit too tight in the back pose, but I think the front pose is what prevents her from wins. When she's getting like these top 3 placings, I think that's what separates her from winning the show. I think that Kate's front pose beats Nade's, but Nade's back pose beats Kate's. So I think that's why Nade got into the 3rd place positioning over Kate, making it a 1-point difference. And yeah. I mean, everyone just looks really, really good. Like, this was a really fun show. So let's get into the winner. So we have Marie. Let's look at Marie's video. Okay, so Marie's front pose. You aren't seeing too much conditioning in any one place. Really full, keeps her core tight the entire time. Looks very poised and confident. She could not look down when she turns to the back, but that's like a very small critique. Yeah, she's not getting like squishy in her glute ham tie when she moves. Her glutes are staying full in the upper outer when she walks. And she just exudes confidence. She looks great. She's not getting too many splits in her quads. Her conditioning is just completely spot on. So, oh, that's Kate. Okay. So here is Marie. Yeah, I think the suit is great, and I think her balance is just spot on. Again, I think she should bring up her hamstrings. That's the only thing I would have her change. That and maybe straightening her arms a little bit, but I don't think the arms will hurt her at the Olympia, because you can still see her pop in her rear delts. When you bend the arms too much and hike them up, then you do lose the delts, but she's not, so it's not like too much. I think that might just be a personal preference thing for me when they're sticking out. But yeah, I think Marie completely won the show. She looks phenomenal. And the hair, you can see that it's short enough that you can see the taper into her waist. It's just really, really good all around. And then Taylor, looking at Taylor's video, her conditioning looks beautiful. It's just a little tighter than I think what judges wanted at this show. If everyone came in as tight as her, Taylor could have probably won this show. But yeah, same thing. She's not like getting any squishiness in her glute when she moves. Her movements, she's very steady. You don't see her get off balance ever. If you get off balance, it's not the end of the world. It happens all the time. You can still win a show when you get off balance, but it does stand out that Taylor is not fumbling at all, and her waist looks super tight. She's completely maintained her shape while putting on all the size that she has. The hair, I mean, the blonde is okay. I mean, yeah, the blonde, I don't know. It looks a little bit bright, but that's just like me really critiquing. I think she looks great. Okay. And then as far as what Taylor can do before the Olympia, I think maybe come in a touch softer, but yeah, I mean, you have to try out looks before you go to the Olympia. So I'm sure maybe she'll do another show after this and like test out some more looks. That's what I would do if I were her and if it made sense financially and time-wise and stuff. So yeah, Taylor, well done. Very well done. Okay, and then Nade. So Nade, yeah, so she could arch her low back more because she's really full and poppy in this shoulder, but it almost makes her glute look flat in comparison, even though it's clearly not. Like, she clearly has very round, full glutes. But she could arch her low back more, open up her hips more so I see more of the front of her suit bottom. It's not helping that this cut is a little bit straight on the top, so it makes her look even more straight up and down. I would like some more shape to the bikini top itself. But yeah, open up the hips so I see more of the front of the suit bottoms, and then she would automatically get more balanced hourglass shape. Like, I really think it's as simple as that. I think she's probably bringing her glute around this much to get glute pop from the side, but I don't think it's worth it. I think that maybe she wouldn't get as much glute pop in her front pose if she opened up a little bit, but she would look more balanced, and looking more balanced is more important than getting glute pop in bikini. Like, you want both ideally, but it's not like she turns to the back and then still has no glutes. She turns to the back and clearly has very developed glutes. Now, if she had no glutes and then cranked this much in the front pose to get glute pop, it would make sense to do that kind of trade-off, just so you like give some illusion of size. But Nade, it's obvious she has a lot of size in her back pose, so I think it would be worth opening up her hips a little bit just for one show to see if that would improve, like, or make her placings more consistently like a first place. Not that everyone who gets first every time. We see Olympians get first, like Kate last weekend, and then get fourth the next week. Like, that happened, and she got 15th the week before that. So like, it happens all the time. But I would like to see her just open up her hips a little bit more, because her back pose is flawless. It's completely flawless. Let's look at let's see if she had, let's do a retrospective. Okay, the hips are really closed. I don't see any of the front of the suit bottoms. Let's go through some of the shows from this year, because maybe she has done it and it didn't look good, so I'm wrong. Like, that's very possible. Okay, here's another one. Yeah, hardly any. More arch, which is good in her low back. Did I go through everything? No. Okay, Republic of Texas. Yeah, very closed off. Okay, so it's at least this year, the one thing she has not tried is opening up her hips more. I would love to see that. Here, closer, and that's when she won. Like I've said before, this is the best her front pose has ever looked, even though she is like leaning forward. But yeah, open up the hips like a little bit more. Let's see, did she do it, Sean Ray? I'm like very much rooting for Nade, and I just want to see this front pose, so I think it would help everything. Yeah, close it up again. So I don't know what's going on, because that seems harder mobility wise than opening up your hips. Like, it seems harder to like be that turned away and that turned like open in your upper body, that seems more difficult than opening up the hips too. So yeah. I'm rooting for you today. Hopefully that comes off. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so with today's presentation, so let's look at her presentation. She's looking more confident every show that she does. I would like her to not look down so much because it reads as nervous. And I think the hair could be shorter. It's covering her glutes. So if we could just like do something with the hair so it doesn't cover her glutes, I think that would help. Yeah. And the routine, I would be just a little more, you want to look relaxed, but looking relaxed still involves some more control. Some of the routine just looks a little bit clumsy. Like some of the movements with the hips are just a little bit too much to where it does cause folding under the glutes. So yeah, I would just like to see, and like that specifically took away the shape of the lower body. So I would like to see a little more control in the posing. I love that she's getting more comfortable on stage, and looks more confident, but I would just not look down as much, and I would be a little more controlled with the movements, a little more deliberate. But yeah, she looks great. Okay, and then we have Kate Carroll. So here's Kate. And Kate, I think, yeah, she looks really full. She's closed up her stance a little bit, which I think helps her proportions. Her waist looks completely snatched. And then I think it's just a long-term, like a little more size in her shoulders and her glutes. But she looks really good. Like she's winning shows without having as much size as some of the other higher up people. And yeah, I think maybe bring the arm in tighter because I feel like it flattens out the front delt a little bit when it's out like this. So I would like to see that, and then more of a heart shape in the bottoms instead of just like round over the top. So she could pull the bottoms down in the back and up in the front a little bit. I think that would help her out, but she looks great. She looks absolutely great. This shoulder does look a little bit tense, so I would want it to look as relaxed as this shoulder, so she's a little more balanced. But yeah, she looks completely great, and I hope she's in the top 15 this year. Okay, and then Romina, I think this most balanced she's looked all season. She looks like just as tight up top as she does on bottom. This is her back pose, so like that comparison I showed you, she wasn't arching as much. This is what her back pose looks like when it's fully posed. I love the suit. The hair looks pretty. The hair could probably be a little bit more relaxed, but I like it. I think she looks great. Tam looks even. Romina always has a commanding stage presence, and yeah, I'm just really happy to see her doing so well at the show and looking the best she has all season. And yeah, just love to Romina. I really like Romina. So that is all that I have. Yeah, that's all that I have. Okay, so between 5 and 6, it wasn't perfect. Some people had Jodie in 5th. Okay, so let's see who is, let's see what the shows this weekend are. Okay. Oh, did I already do that? Okay, Bikini. So we're going to say August. Oops. Okay. So this coming weekend, it's going to be August 9th. Oh, we have Tahoe. Okay, I'm really excited for Tahoe. Okay, so we have Texas. Oh, we have a lot of shows. We have Texas, Florida State Masters. I won't go over that one, but Texas, Midwest Naturals. I'll talk about that. Tahoe, and then we have the Masters Olympia. Okay, I might touch on that. And then we have the Tokyo Pro. So yeah. Okay, good. I love these Japan shows because they always take like 1 million pictures. So I'm excited. It's gonna be a good weekend. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna talk about them. Yeah. I have stuff going on this coming weekend, but I will talk about these shows. So yeah. Let me know what you think. I'm like, how do I normally end these videos? Okay, I'm just gonna end the video. Bye.